Hey there everybody, welcome to another Ellipsis Live gameplay. Today we're featuring Blue Yellow Jiren versus Red Yellow SurgeKu. Derek Medill on the left playing the Blue Yellow Jiren deck, and then Brad Dempsey on the right playing Goku or SurgeKu. Both players are Ellipsis team members, and yeah. Starting off, we got that solid turn 1 charge from SurgeKu. It's going to be a dual color almost every time, unless it's me playing, because I don't draw dual colors. Speaking of not drawing dual colors, Derek, starting with him on a yellow charge, when he very often wants swapping it out for a blue energy. All good there. But yeah, so swapping it out. He wants to charge a dual color turn 1, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Using the leader effect to take a life and summon a 2 or less Universe 11 from his hand. And that Universe 11 is Dispo, the card that I firmly believe should at one point either be banned because it does too much in a format, or it'll just never do anything. That's how it feels to me. What the card is, if you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, it's compulsory evacuation device on steroids. Or at least on legs. It's a 2-drop 15k that says when your opponent plays a battle card with energy cost greater than their energy, you can take 1 life and then bounce him and then bounce the card that's played. I think you might crit the life, you might kill him, but I'm pretty sure he goes back to your hand. And then when he gets either KO'd or at least the field due to an opponent's skill, you draw a card, which is nice. Brad's turn just seems to be just charge a check line, swing, drop the red yellow baby card, and do 1 damage. That red yellow baby card is an MVP. It puts a lot of work in, so it's an activate battle. You warp it from your graveyard to minus your opponent's leader or battle card by 15k, not ignoring barrier, and then it gives 5k to your leader. So on lethal swings, that thing puts in a lot of work. And it's just a perfect discard card for SurgeKu, because that's sometimes the problem you see when you play SurgeKu is you don't really know what you want to discard. Obviously, the draw Goku Ape is the prime option. Man, the glare on these cards right now. I apologize. My chandelier thing lights kind of hang. There's one that hangs right over the spot in which we playtest and record from. But the Jiren turn, he's going to charge a yellow energy. Again, missing that dual color. Swinging in, taking a life, and playing the 2-drop Casserole, or as I call him, Casserole or Cash Money. Cringy, I know. But he plays a 1-drop from the deck with the effects negated for the turn, and the one he chooses to play is Cringy. And what Cringy does is he's a 1-drop guy that gives all 2 or less Universe 11s barrier. It's pretty strong. On the right, seeing 2 energy get tapped. This should be the Iron Drake Chapel, or Chapel, that gets played here. Debating whether or not he wants to actually tap the 2 energy. We'll see. SurgeKu is really cool right now. SurgeKu to me feels a lot like, says the leader itself is like Rudigarn, or reverse. I keep calling it reverse for Rudigarn, because you draw before you discard. But it feels very SS3 like, where there's a lot of things you can do with the deck. I mean, I don't know if you paid attention to this prior weekend's PPG online tournament. I don't know what they're calling them. Online. Yeah, PPG online. Andrew Duvall won with a red, blue, yellow that emphasized much more on the red, blue stuff. Playing Obuni and just general good cards. There's a top 4 list by Jonathan Rodriguez that played Bergamo. It played a couple more of the blue yellow type stuff, and then there was another SurgeKu in the top cut, also tricolor. Just because you get a lot of value right now out of Senzubin and Frost Deadly Poison, but you get his version I know played the Zamasu super combo, and I think he played Bergamo as well. This deck is red yellow, just red yellow toolbox. It's really only bad matchup I feel like in the meta right now is probably the tricolor decks because Frost Deadly Poison is a card. I think that's what pushes it over the limit. Untapping with Senzu Bean, however, is always strong. But what we're going to see is he's going to tap 2 for the new draft box card, Iron Drake Chapel, or Chappelle. What he says is when your opponent attacks with a card, you can choose up to one of your opponent's energy and tap it once per turn. So it's really good for dual color decks, especially when they miss like a dual color charge, as you're going to see here. So Jiren's going to awaken. He's going to play a 1-drop. Vuan the blocker. I'm here to identify all the U11s because the glare on them is crazy. So he's now just a 1-drop barrier blocker. Swinging at the leader. You're going to see the Chapel effect, tap down the blue energy. Like I said, this is extremely strong. And just in the situations that, like, when your opponent misses their dual color charge, and now you just have access to turning off entire engines in their deck, like Senzu Bean stuff, and if you wanted to play another Dispo for some reason, just a lot of, like, good cards. All right. And then, no combos on the 20k leader. Brad just decided to take the damage. Cool. Did he not draw for turn? I really think he just skipped drawing for turn there. I could have missed it, but it's not worth rewinding because that'll fuck with the recording. Looking at the draft box, I want to make I'm going to probably end up making a video talking about the cards from the draft box that I think are really strong and really impactful. We're going to see Brad's going to do something here, and then he's going to take the playback because he didn't. Yeah. That's fine. There's like there's a conversation going on right now, so I'll continue with what I'm talking about. Yeah, I want to talk about the draft box. Just want to talk about like cards from it that I think are really good. Like I said, my opinion on Dispos, I think the card's really, really strong, depending on the format. Being able to prevent your opponent from doing stuff is just a really strong effect. And like in certain matchups, it's almost backbreaking at times. Obuni is obviously, I mean, if you didn't watch the PPG online thing, Obuni overperformed at that, I feel like. So did the Kaioken Goku. Both of those cards put a lot of work in. So did Bergamo. Just a couple cards that I think are really good. I think some of the Maiden stuff is also really good. I talked about it in the Piccolo video that should either be up or going up soon. They're all uploaded or just premiered or unlisted until a certain time. But I think the 5-drop Ribrianne's a good card. I mean, 30k Dribble Striker that says your opponent can only attack this battle card. It doesn't have barrier, which is the probably worst part about the card because it can just kind of get removed relatively easily. But not a lot of decks are playing a single target removal right now or have access to the ability to kill 30ks without doing much. But on the leader swing, we saw Brad draw 2 cards and then discard the Universe Knight Assemble, which is a 2-drop extra card that says draw, activate main, activate battle, draw 2 cards. Not sure what's happening there. Draw 2 cards, and then if your opponent's energy is all in rest mode, you can summon a 2 or less Universe 9 from your deck for free. So you summon Iron Drake Chapel. Some versions are playing the Ro, who's the Kai from that universe. I am not crazy about that card, personally. It's a good card. I just didn't want it really in my list. So I'm trying a weird split between this is my Goku deck on the right. Trying to split between I think it's 2 or 3 copies of the Assemble and then 3 copies of Chapel and then 3 Bergamo. Just as a small engine alongside the rest of the good red yellow stuff. Here we see the 1 or the 3-drop here is coming in, swinging with critical. And then snapping off the SurgeKu leader effect to negate Derek's board, which means he removes the barrier trait, and I mean all of their skills really, but the barrier trait is the important part about it. Because what we're going to see here is after the battle, the battle's already ended. Derek comboed the Kunchi from his field to not take the critical damage and not have to trigger the leader effect. Brad is going to tap 3 energy, play the proxy, because I'm still waiting for mine to show up in the mail, but we're going to get to that point when we get there. Oh, swinging with the chapel instead. Tapping 2 energy, comboing Great Ape Bardock, Raider's Warcry, my favorite card in the game. Pushing him to 25. We're probably going to see the leader effect come out here from the Jiren. Alright, so what he's going to do is he's going to combo 5k and then combo a proxied card, but that card is it's Raider's Warcry. So what's going to happen is both of their Warcries are going to summon, they're going to tap each other down, and they're going to both draw a card. It's a fun interaction between the two. And then at this point, I believe Brad just kind of passes the turn. Not really much else he can do here on 2 energy. I don't believe he doesn't have a Goku Ape in the drop to draw 2 cards. No reason to do anything else. Here comes the blue charge, I'm hoping, by Derek, because he gotta get more blue energy. Otherwise, this chapel is just going to continue to beat him down. Charging the 4-drop Abuni. Questionable charge in my opinion, just because that card puts a lot of work in. If you don't know what it does, is the 4-drop when you play it summons 3 after image tokens. Those tokens are 15Ks with 5K combo. Abuni cannot die as long as those tokens are on the field. What we're going to see is a play that just got taken back. But Chapel tapped down the blue energy, and then Brad looks like he's debating on summoning the Bergamo here. Oh, there we go. Time skip. Because videos got cut. Summoning the Bergamo, tapping the 2 energy down, and then Bergamo, when he's summoned, is he can then tap down a combination. It's up to 2 energy or up to 2 battle cards, ignoring barrier or any combination of. So you're seeing him tap down the Bardock Ape and then the other blue energy, just turning off Senzu Bean plays, which at this point just have been dead in Derek's hand for the entirety of this game. And don't we love that? Passing to Brad, where he's going to go to his 5 energy play. And it looks like, or he's just adds the combo. Yeah, so he's going to kill that. His effect's going to summon. At this point, I'm explaining how it's both a game mechanic and skill. If you don't know that, fun rolling. So after Destroyer Kings came out with the 1-drop rollies, they changed the rulebook where minusing or death via minusing is both a skill because a card does it to that card, and then is a game mechanic. So for cards like Champa and Vados that can protect itself by discarding a card, it'll survive the skill killing it, but the game mechanic will say, oh, that battle card has 0 power, it can't exist, it dies. And then when Casserole dies, or Casserole, he summons the 1-drop from the deck. That gives them all barrier. Then Brad, going into his turn 5 play, has a lot of options. This deck can do a lot of things on 5, one of which is drop the Smoke Dragon Secret Rare. However, that's not really the case right now, because Brad has 5 cards in drop. And then at this point, just outing the board is probably the most important thing he can do. Let's see here. Let's see what he goes on to do. Swinging the Surge Leader at the Bardock Ape. Not the way I would have done it. I would have swung at the leader. And here we see him dropping the card underneath of it to negate the board. And debating what he wants to combo. Silence, mostly because I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I don't know if they both agreed that the combo is over. Alright, so we see him comboing the Zamasu Super Combo. This card is great. If you haven't heard myself talk about it in like on the Facebook page or other stuff. Oh, here comes the Body Change Ginyu, aka the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Because like I said, I'm still waiting for my other two to come in the mail. So we're dealing with proxies in a minute. What that card says, it is a deflect battle card, and when it is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards with 20k or less and kill them. Its other effect is you can tap 2 red. If your leader card is red, minus 25 to something your opponent controls. Not ignoring barrier. I don't think it ignores barrier. And there's also a 15k body. At this point, we'll see something. The critical swing coming in. He's going to tap 1 to use a Freeze's Death Ball, which is a plus 15k combo for him, as well as a minus 10k to either an opponent's battle card or leader. And what that does is it essentially is it is a 25k combo card. And here comes the Champa, or the Isekai to give it double strike. So that is a 40k double strike critical attack going on to a net or a 5k leader. Hitting a Bardock Ape and the check land or the blue yellow energy that that Derek has been looking for literally all game. And then he's going to swing in with the Kaioken, which is a 15k. Derek's hand isn't too terrible at the moment, but it's just a process of killing 5Ks from his hand right now. There's another one. Swinging at the 20k. I think he just gave the go-ahead for 20k. And there's 25. Checking the drop here to see if there's anything that he has to worry about. I mean, in theory, what the Blue Yellow Jiren deck is able to do is if you have multiple of the tournament back Jiren, you can discard 3, summon 6 Universe 11 guys from your grave, or 5. If you summon 5, it's fine. And then tap 5 into Absolute Justice Jiren, and you pretty much win the game from there because that card is bonkers. It's a quad striker that can synchro into the Cell Seeker Rare. Cool. Leader swing. Drawing a card. Going up to 20k. I can't really tell what he drew. It looks like either another Dispo or it looks like I'm not sure. Good old recording commentary at 3 in the morning. Here comes the Casserole. He's going to tap 2 blue and a yellow to play it, which is going to then play a 1-drop from the deck, opting to play another blocker because we're playing a blocker because he just needs to find a way to non-die. He is at 2 life. He has to find a way to protect himself. He gets 1 trigger out of his leader effect, which buys him effectively 1 turn, assuming Brad doesn't find a way to kill the board. Which will be difficult now that the Ornament Pack Jiren has been used to summon off, not double Kenshi, probably 1 Kenshi and a blocker. Yep. But, if he had Smoke Dragon, it kind of does it. Not necessarily. I mean, because Smoke Dragon, yeah, card's crazy. Brad charging a 6 energy at this point. Going to swing the Double Striker at Jiren. Trigger the leader effect. Effectively just buying himself a turn. And at this point, I think Brad just passes. He doesn't need to do anything. If he has a card to draw, or a way to draw cards, maybe via, like, the Goku ape in the drop, but I don't think he's seen any of them this game. And he just passes the turn. Cool. Drawing return. At this point, Derek is just trying to find a way to survive. It's one of those situations where, like, if you can't win that turn, you just kind of lose because you can't survive your opponent. That's what Derek has found himself in. It's never a fun situation. But wow. But it'd be like that sometimes. Cool. Charging. The Absolute Justice Jiren, swinging the leader, use effect will pump him 20k, and using the cost roll to tap down the blue energy. Here comes another Bergamo, another proxy. And he's going to tap 2 energy for that, which will then allow him to tap 2 more energy, assuming that Derek doesn't have a response. Boom. Derek is effectively going from 6 to 3 energies this turn, meaning any real plays that he had, he's just kind of unable to do. And that's just really strong effects. If he had, and the fact that if you have multiple Bergamos, you can just trigger them all in hand. And at this point, Derek has realized that he just can't win the game, and that's it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to stay tuned. I'm gonna be releasing content throughout the week. If there's any decks that you're interested in watching a deck profile for, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can shoot some stuff and get those deck profiles to you. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Be healthy and all that jazz. Bye.